Hi everyone, hope you guys are having a great day so far. Today I would like to hop on and talk about the condition that affects many people's hands a lot, which is arthritis to the thumb. Did you know that the thumb is actually one of the top 5 joints of the human body that can have arthritis? If you really think about it, it's really not that surprising because we are using our thumb to do almost everything. When we manipulate any tools, use any tools picking up objects, holding something, pretty much whenever we use anything in the hand, we are using our thumbs. And then if you deeper into that, you will know that whenever somebody is losing their thumb or having some sort of thumb injury, that it can be considered as a much more severe type of disability compared to losing any other fingers. So just with that, we know that the thumb is very important in terms of functional use of our hand upper extremity, but then thumb injuries can also be very debilitating. And then because of the very frequent use of the thumb, it's also set up to have arthritis much more easily. And so today I would like to show the top 3 tips as an occupational therapist to you guys to prevent thumb arthritis from happening. The first thing I would like to talk about is the muscles deep down in the web space. A lot of time, because we are holding the tools, gripping onto a lot of different things, we might have a very firm grip. And then by using that firm grip for a very long time, we will develop a lot of muscle tightness, especially at the web space. And then, just to be more specific, it's called the adductor pollicis, which is the muscles pulling the thumb into the hand. That muscle tends to be tight just because of us doing a lot of gripping. And then the first tip to relieve that muscle tension right there can often ease off the pressure to the thumb. And then the very simple way to do that, you can use a clothespin. You find your web space. When you palpate and you put your finger there, you usually will find a tender spot right there. Once you find that tender spot, remember where that is. You use a clothespin and then put it in. And make sure you see what I do. I put a clothespin very, very deep down there. If you make it too light or make it too far out, it's pinching only at the skin. It doesn't feel very comfortable and it's not very effective in terms of relieving the muscle tension. You want to really go very deep in, find the tender spot right there, and then you put the clothespin all the way in so the pressure will be on the muscle belly. And then you just let it hold right there for about 1 or 2 minutes. That's a very good static release to relieve the muscle tension of the adductor pollicis or adductor pollicis that often people use a lot for power gripping or holding on to any objects or tools for a very long time. First tip, muscle release. The second tip is to do some stretching exercises to relieve some of the muscles, which includes the extensor and abductor of the thumb to move the thumb out this way. And then to relieve that muscle tension or the tension right there that's causing the stress to the thumb, a very easy thing to do is you can simply hold a fist, make the thumb into your hand, wrap your thumb around with your fingers, and then you just do a little tilt to make your fist tilt towards your pinky side. You just straighten your hand out. Remember that tilt of the fist. You will feel a stretch at the top of the thumb, at the radial side or the thumb side of your wrist. That will be a very good stretch. Hold it there for about 5 seconds and then relax. Hold it there for about 5 seconds and relax. Remember to make it very dynamic. We never want to have a very prolonged stretch because most of the people, unless you are going through a surgery or casted for a long time, otherwise, most people don't have a true muscle shortening. The muscles are just stiff, tight from overuse. And then in order to relieve that tension, if you want gliding, you want active motion, you want blood circulation instead of a passive static hold. Repetitive motion like this, move the thumb down. And then remember, you can also change the angle a little bit. Like I said, there are multiple muscles passing from the forearm, passing through the wrist, going into the thumb. We need to change the angle so we can target different parts of it. A very easy thing to do is you can move your thumb a little bit, move your wrist a little bit further back there, and then you do the tilt and the stretch again. You will feel more of a stretch towards the palm side. You do that repetitively. And then you can tilt the other way, move the fist a little bit forward, and then you do the tilt. So you will feel more of a stretch at the back part. So that targets the different part of the tendons, target different muscles, target different parts of the fascia, the connective tissue. Then you can change that to different angles, do that repetitively. Ideally, I would suggest to do at least 10 reps of each of the different angles. So that will be pretty much 30 reps for you to complete this exercise. So that's the second exercise, some active motion gliding or a dynamic stretch to help you relieve the tension of the muscle tendon from the forearm passing through the wrist into the thumb. The very third thing I would like to do is to introduce you guys an exercise to strengthen some stabilizer muscles of the thumb. I'm having a rubber band here. Rubber band is very easy for you to use in order to carry out this exercise. What I'm doing right now is I'm wrapping the rubber band into my fingers. All 4 fingers are put into the loop like that. And now I'm moving my thumb to my pinky side. By doing that, I'm activating the thenar eminence right here to stabilize the thumb joints. We need this muscle to stabilize the thumb joint, the first carpo-metacarpal joint right here to stabilize that. This is the joint that has very commonly has arthritis, so working on stabilization right there, keep the muscle activated. And then we work on elevating the index finger moving away from the middle finger, and that is working on activating some of the intrinsic muscles, or the first dorsal interosseous muscle, which is intrinsic within the hand, which is also a very important thumb stabilizer muscle. Just working on that. Do that repetitively. It's an endurance-based exercise, so we are not doing that super heavy to a level of fatiguing. We just do a very, very light weight with rubber band. Do that repetitively. And in order to get endurance improved, you need a lot of repetitions. 20-25 reps. If it's tolerable, we can totally do that to 30 reps. So that, make sure when I'm doing this, only the index finger is moving up, nothing else is moving. A very isolated exercise to work on thumb stability, very, very specific. So this is the third tip, which is a stabilization exercise for the thumb. So we shared about 3 tips today for the thumb. The first one is a release using the clothespin. The second one is a stretching exercise. Remember the different angles for different muscles. And then the third one using the rubber band to work on improving the endurance of the stabilizer muscles of the thumb. So these are the 3 tips, and remember these exercises, these programs to take care of the thumb, they are very gentle, so you can totally do more, but then ideally, first thing in the morning, last thing in the evening, but then also whenever you are going to get into some heavy work using your hand a lot, like before going into your work every day, do that before and after your work. That's gonna help you take care of your thumb better and then prevent you from developing arthritis of the thumb, because we don't want that to happen, because eventually that might lead to surgery in most of the cases. Unlike a lot of the other joints like the hips or the knees, you have much more muscles to stabilize the joints, but then for the hand, you don't necessarily have enough of the muscles to support the joint, to stabilize the joints. So it's very important for us to take care of the joints regularly, just to prevent the joint from wearing out, give it time to recover better. So these are the tips in terms of how to prevent your thumb from having arthritis. My name is Andy Zin, physical therapist, occupational therapist, as well as a Pilates instructor at Core Therapy and Pilates. That's all I got for today. I hope you guys have a great day. We will talk soon. Bye.